I mean, obviously he had a pretty big game. Um, I mean, a good running game starts up front with the line. I mean, obviously he set a record, and they did that last year. So we'll go into it this week with the mindset that we need to establish the run game to get it going and get the offense going. So that's what we'll be focusing on.
When someone has a game like that, how refreshing is it just to see how humble he's really handled that record?
Oh, he's an unbelievable guy. He's a guy you want in your locker room, no matter where you are. I mean, he takes care of his business. He goes about it in a quiet way, and I mean, you got to love that. He's so talented, and everybody knows that. And I mean, he didn't say a word about it.
Coming up on Kansas and Iowa State these next 2 weeks, from an insider's perspective, do you really fall into that, not buying into a trap game type atmosphere with these two games coming up?
I mean, you can't. That's how you get beat if you overlook somebody. That's why you got to take it 1 week at a time. Texas Tech went in there a couple weeks ago, and I'm sure they went in there with the mindset kind of similar to that. They overlooked them, and they had a close one. Came down to the wire, so we got to go in and take it 1 week at a time. And this is a Big 12 game, and each Big 12 games are another step closer to our goal.
Baker, how much have you guys improved since Texas as an offense?
We've taken steps and strides in our tempo, and then obviously establishing the running game, which is huge for us. Our passing game, we've been there kind of all year. Just need to fine-tune just our passing game overall. But I mean, establishing the running game up front helps us, and so I mean, improving that offensively, that's great. But then defensively, they've made huge strides. The turnover margin has completely changed. I mean, we need to take care of the ball more, but they're forcing plenty of turnovers for us to win the game and give us an opportunity. So that's great.
How big have these two past games been for that offensive line in terms of getting experience and building confidence?
It's huge. I mean, they kind of got their manhood called out after the Texas game, and I mean, they responded very well, and that's how you want after a loss, and after somebody challenges you, you want to respond like that, and they've done it in the best way they possibly could, and hopefully continue it going forward.
Baker, you've got the two worst teams in the conference coming up these next 2 weeks. You guys maybe early season were a little overconfident at times going into Texas. Is that a way to kind of keep from being too overconfident through these 2 weeks and then into November too?
Like I said, you can never overlook somebody, and our first goal is the Big 12 championship, and both teams are in the Big 12, so we have to win each game one at a time. I mean, yeah, our tougher games are later in the season. We know that. We knew that at the beginning of the year, but it's 1 week at a time, and that's what we have to focus on.
Talk a little bit about Mark Andrews, 10 catches, 5 touchdowns, just how big a weapon he's been with the offense.
He's a good guy. I mean, he puts in his work, and I mean, he's a threat down the red zone. And people have to account for him. He can run like a receiver, and I've said it plenty of times, but he's big enough to make mismatches with linebackers. So he's a guy that he's versatile. We can use him in the blocking game, and we're establishing that too. And so he helps out our offense about.
Younger receivers have had chances to make plays, Dahu, Mead. So far they haven't been able to. Do you say anything to them to try to keep their confidence up?
Keep your head up. I mean, they're going to get more chances. I mean, Dahu, I know would like to have that one catch in the end zone back. And obviously, he's a freshman. He's going to make some mistakes, but I mean, got to keep your head up because there's going to be more balls coming your way. So, I mean, just trying to keep them positive because they have more chances than that. They can't dwell on the negative part of it.
You were only sacked one time on Saturday, I think, and you handed the ball off a lot. Were you any less sore on Sundays compared to the past few weeks?
My body felt a little bit better than it has all season, but I mean, that's a good feeling. It was great to see those guys get so many rushing yards and get that going. It makes my job easy. And they made the passing game open up. I didn't have to throw the ball nearly as many times as we used to at the beginning of the year, so it's always good for me.
Baker, you had a couple of tackles on Saturday. That doesn't normally happen for quarterbacks. I can't imagine you're practicing that. So no. Is that just instinct when it happens? I
mean, yeah, the other team has the ball. You got to go get him. I mean, I wouldn't say I had 2 tackles. One of them, he kind of slipped and I just fell on top of him. The other one, I used the sideline to my advantage. But, I mean, when they have the ball, you got to go react and play football. Instincts kick in.
Samaje and Joe are getting all the attention at running back. How big has Dimitri been in helping open lanes for those two guys?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, he's a guy that's had to step up to the plate. We had a great fullback last year in Aaron Rukowski, and so we needed somebody to step up, and that's a huge part of our offense is getting those guys to play into our running game, and they have crucial blocks that if they don't get it, it can blow up in the backfield. So it's not just him; it's everybody in the running game. But I mean, he's a crucial part of it.